What's up, everyone? I'm CL Connolly. I know it's been a little while since I've uploaded a video, but right around Christmas time, everything gets kind of crazy because my husband does not take vacations at all throughout the year. So this tends to be the time that he takes vacation. I have to make sure that I focus all my, attention on him only because of the fact that he doesn't take vacations ever, so I barely ever get to see him. So when he takes a vacation, I make sure to focus all my attention on my husband. Anybody can understand that. So not only that, but we did do a little remodel on the on our home, the RV. So you can see a different sofa behind me than what was in here before. I don't know if I actually ever showed that. I do have video footage though of us ripping the stuff out. It's a little I don't want to say it's vulgar, but if anybody's ever had to take anything out of an RV, you know how difficult it is because everything is bolted down together and to itself. Plus, not only that, but let me see if I can. If you can see right here behind me, there is like this wire that's hanging over this light. Okay, there's an issue with this wire. It was connected to the sofa that was there because it had like these cup holders and the cup holders had lights inside them. It was literally all it was for. The sofa had lights inside the cup holders. That's it. It wasn't like one of the ones that did the massage and all that stuff. It was just, the lights inside the cup holders. Well, when you remove that sofa, that wire is actually going inside the wall in that slide. Now we got to figure out something to do with it because my husband at this point is terrified that if he cuts it, it's literally going to cut some power to that slide. So at this point, it's literally just hanging. All we did was cut it to remove we severed like the small wire that went from that to the sofa, and that was it. So now it's just hanging there because we don't know what the rest of it goes to. So at this point, it's literally just going to hang right there. We can drop it behind the sofa. But there's the cat, which she is right there. And she's been going under it, behind it. She now has places to hide, which is good for her. This sofa, we don't care if she gets in there because she has a way to get out. The jackknife sofa that was over there, if she got behind it and under it, she could not get out without somebody opening it, and then all she would do is scream in there. Anyway, so we did a little renovations. I am sitting at my new desk. I do have video footage of all of this too, so you will be able to see the desk. I do have an organization that is still happening because I had inside the dinette, there were these very long drawers that went the entire length of the seats. And one of those drawers was holding all of my writing and crafting material. It has been taken out. It is now in my car. That drawer, the entire drawer, which is the entire length of my back seat, by the way. So once at some point we get that in here, I'll be able to organize everything. I've got a little set of drawers here onto the side of me. I've got this nice little setup here. I've got my camera here, so hopefully I can start using that for filming. But other than that, I feel like I still might use my computer, especially if I'm just sitting here. The camera is basically like, specific for vlogging. So whenever I go to like the convention in February and the one in June and, stuff like that, I'll take my camera with me. That's just easier than trying to turn my computer around and everything. Anyway, back to the point. All right. So with Christmas out of the way, we've got the new year coming up. So here comes 2020. So what's going to happen in 2020 is I am hoping to have a lot of stuff done. I'm slowly getting back some of the changes and stuff from the beta readers. A lot of it is just these little kind of line edits and stuff like that, which is fine. I literally don't care. I do have some pages that literally have nothing on them, which for me, yay. And then there's some that have like small little things. A lot of it, I do have one beta reader, she'll send me stuff back with notes on the back pages. So I'm slowly getting Fruitful Affair back from the beta readers. I got one I got one back that had some changes to grammar and typos, which is fine. So at this point, I am starting to get some stuff coming back in from the beta readers. This one is not completed. This is just partial. I do have some of the other stuff, and then this is only up to page 157, and there's like 200 pages. So there is still just a few pages that I need to get back from that one. One guy dropped out. It happens. This is why, you should really have a whole ton of them, because sometimes, beta readers are just going to end up getting too busy and then they won't be able to do it. Of course, I did this during the holidays, which was probably not a good idea. If I had it finished in July like I was supposed to, but hello flash drive for ruining my file, and then not having it finished again until September, getting it to them in October, and then November has Thanksgiving. It's a whole ordeal. Anyway, so I am also at this point going through this myself. So I am making my own edits. Now, of course, I have pages that are empty, but that's me. But then I have other pages that are not. I do have some pages that are like full of stuff, but that's because when I lost my file, I half-assed my edits. When I went back through again, I sort of half-assed a lot of it because of the fact that I was so ticked off that I'd lost my file. So now I'm going back through, I'm doing everything seriously, and I'm getting back the edits that I had lost before. So that, I literally have 3 weeks to have the cover done, have it sent to my editor, which usually I get it back about a week from my editor, which is fine. She can actually get it back to me in a week. Thank God for that. So I've got the cover photo, which I am having set up next week. I will be taking cover photos. And then I've got to get it, hopefully next week, when I take the cover photos, the week after that, which would be the first full week of January, I can get it to my editor. And then, which really sucks because I was trying to get her to get it back to me in like 2 or 3 days. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I am looking for at least the 3rd or 4th week in January. You know what? I'm going to look that up because I have my new 2020 planner here. Okay, so next week, probably either Thursday or Friday, I will be doing cover photos. And then the week after that, so next week I do the cover photos. I'm hoping to have all of this done and getting back the last little bit from this other beta reader so that the week after that I can get it to my editor, which probably will not happen. I have to have it published and ready for purchase by the 24th, if that says anything, in order to have it on time for the convention in February, because the convention in February is Valentine's Day weekend. So I have to have this done by the 24th of January. All of this. And this is actually a long process. Like, this is the longest process. So I think with my next book, Fruitful Affair, which, by the way, will also be in the process of being edited at the exact same time. So I will not only be starting my new series in January, which the series name is Killer Suburbia. I think I've mentioned that. So Killer Suburbia is in process, it will be in process of being written. That starts Monday. I have that down. That's my timeline. So Monday will be the beginning of starting that. I do already have 1,200 words written, which I did start on my computer only because I'm trying not to handwrite everything, but that's out of, pain. I've already got enough pain with my back and everything. I don't need more pain in my hand. So anyway, so what my plan is that starting Monday, I will be starting my new series. I am ahead of schedule anyway because I did do 1,200 words, but that's because my outline has most of the beginning, so I've got that taken care of. My outline actually starts each book. So I have that, which is perfect. So that's that's how that's going to go. I'm also finishing my edits for Fundamental Affair. I'm beginning edits for Fruitful Affair. And that was only because I was hoping to have Fundamental Affair done on Friday so that I could send, which at this point would be tomorrow. Just for verification's sake, Christmas was yesterday. That's when I'm filming this video. It's December 26th. So I was hoping to have Fundamental Affair done by December 27th. That's just for reference so that everybody knows what date I'm talking, because my videos go up on Monday. So this will be the 30th. On the 30th is when I'm starting all of this, everything. So I do have everything planned out and scheduled. So I did have my plan was to have Fundamental Affair completely finished and ready to publish by December 27th. So that the first week in January, the first full week, which would be like January 6th, I think is what it is. I don't know if it is the 6th. Checking my calendar again. It is the 6th. Okay, cool. So I am on time with that. Okay, so January 6th was going to be the day that I would put everything in, get my proof, approve the proof, and start ordering. Okay, so start ordering inventory for both the convention and the website. I do still have, by the way, my notepads. I don't really know how you want to call that. I do still have the notepads on my website. It's got Forbidden Affair on the cover. I've also got one that has Friendly Misfortunes on the cover. Pull the drawer. There's Friendly Misfortunes. Friendly Misfortunes. So I made those, printed, cut them, bound them. That was back when I worked. Anyway, so I do have those on my website as well as the 3 books. I'm hoping to get. Now here's the problem. Okay, or not problem, but sort of like, if I cannot get Fundamental Affair completed on time in order to get my inventory for the convention in February, okay, if I'm not able to get it on time for that, then what will end up happening is everyone who purchases my books at the Cult Classic Convention in Bastrop in February 14th through the 16th, I will be giving you a coupon code to order the new one on my website. Now, that coupon code will only be good on my website. And it will actually be 25% off. So that's all that I'm going to do. That's all I can do. That's only if it's not ready. If it is ready and I just don't have inventory, I will still do it that way. But I literally feel like I'm so far behind because I've had everything scheduled out, and because I lost my file, I literally threw everything. Just, anyone ever just feel like they should just get drunk and be like, screw all of this. Writing is hard. So anyway, starting in 2020, I do have my new series. Yay. January is probably going to be my busiest month, but I do have on schedule to go ahead and film these videos. That is a main focus. I do want to make sure that I am getting out videos every Monday. I will be uploading and editing and everything the video of us tearing apart this disaster. It was a mess. Now, you have to remember, we live in like 200 square feet. So to pull everything out and attempt to reorganize and remove stuff and then replace everything all in one day, it was a lot. So in the video, yes, this place is a disaster. There was hardly any room to move around. The dogs were freaking out. The cat was freaking out. Everything was a mess. So there's trash everywhere. Literally, it looks like we live like pack rats. That's how bad it looked. And I was like, do I really want to upload this video? But yes, I do. It'll just show you how difficult it actually is to replace furniture in an RV when you live in it full time. I've seen tons of videos of people who are redoing things and building things and doing this and doing that. And it's like, wow, okay. Then you look at the description. It took them a week and they're not living in their RV because they're staying at a friend's house and their RV is out in front, you know. It's like, awesome. So you're staying at a friend's house. Your RV's parked in their driveway. I live in mine. I literally have to have this done in one day. But my husband was on vacation. He had the day. And my husband's a very strong man, which you can see in the video. Plus my son was there. So I do have a video of the renovation coming up. I do have the renovation completely filmed. So that I do have to upload it, edit it, get that taken care of. So that will be done. That'll be taken care of and everything, which might be fun. I mean, it could be fun. I do have to add little bits and pieces because there were so many times where I set down the camera and forgot to turn it on. At one time, I pulled out the legs on the tripod to get it to stand on the floor, and I have no idea what it looked like when I turned it on. I just hit the button and then went to go help my husband, so I was hoping that it was a better angle. So I literally have no idea what each one of these looks like. And I think that's why I don't really care to film from my camera, especially when it was something like that. Like if I were to set up my computer and just have it run from here, that totally would have been okay. But I didn't have this desk here when we were pulling all that stuff apart. The desk was literally the last thing to go in. And I did not film any of us bringing the stuff in. I didn't film any of us or any of the parts where we were putting everything together because we were just trying to, it was getting dark outside. It was like 6 o'clock at night and we were trying to get everything in. It took us forever to get the couch at IKEA. So that took forever. We sat around and waited for it and we had to find somebody to order it. Everything else, the desk and stuff, you just go to the aisle and you pull it. So we had all that. It was trying to get the sofa that was the worst because at one time they said they had it in the color that we wanted it, but when we went to go look, it wasn't there. So when we had to go find somebody again, then it's the whole point of having to go find somebody. Turned out they did not have it in that color, even though it showed it was in stock. I don't know. And then we were trying to decide whether or not we wanted the long one or the short one and whatever. Either way, now the litter box is on the side of the couch, down there, in the slide, being hidden so it's not out in the open. So every time you walk to the bathroom, you're not staring down into the litter box. Anyway, so for 2020, what my plan is to keep you on, or keep you updated with how my books and stuff are going. So I want to make sure that y'all know exactly how my process is going so that you know when my books are being released. I'm also planning on doing, I want to say like Kate Kavanaugh style videos, sort of in a way. I will be setting up like my camera to the side of me and then like kind of doing some editing or, you know, writing or something like that. I will always, by the way, edit hard copy. Well, this one is hard copy. This one's mine. But I will always edit hard copy. I will never edit on my computer straight up because I cannot read from my computer for that long period of time. I have my computer read it to me when I am doing my final edits before it goes to the my editor. So I have my computer read it to me and she will find some very weird things. For some reason, when I spell the word wouldn't, I always miss the N when I'm typing it. I don't know why. I have no idea. This is literally the third book I have edited in the last 2 years that I have realized that I'm missing the N in the word wouldn't. What? So when she reads it to me, she reads it as would. And I'm going, the hell you say? So, anyway. Now I am also going to, okay, here's the deal. I have had a very serious back injury that happened back in 2017. When I went to the spine doctor and everything about that, we found out a lot of other things. And I was I've been running since I was 8 years old, and I have not been able to run since. This was May of 2017. I was told that it could take 18 to 24 months before I could get back to where I was to start running again. Now, my physical therapist did tell me that I could start running again in January of 2019. But what I decided to do instead in January of 2019 is I decided to hard hit my writing career, because I decided that if I can't work and I'm going to be at home, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get these books done, and I'm going to start doing nothing but this. So now I write full time. But unfortunately with that, with no exercise comes a little bit of extra, and nobody wants that. So I've also got on my schedule a lot of fitness things that need to happen, because I need to start strengthening the muscles in my back again, so I can stand for longer than 10 to 15 minutes without needing to sit down. And the horrible circulation that I now have in my lower half of my body, due to a lot of the pressure that my spine puts on my hips and causes a lot of numbness in my legs and everything else. And yes, sitting is not helpful. So I will be having to move around a whole lot, and I've got a little extra that needs to come off from sitting around since, 2017. But I am cleared to run. So I am going to be doing a challenge with myself. That's basically my challenge. So I'm used to running half marathons. If this says anything, I have run several 5Ks. When I was 14 and 15, I have trophies for the 5Ks, the ones that you actually pay for and run out on the city streets. I have trophies for those. I did cross country when I was in high school. So in January and February, I will be running 1 mile, 3 days a week to get back into it. I have cut back on my caffeine, because I used to literally sit and drink coffee all day long, which can no longer happen due to the circulation in my legs. So the caffeine has to go back. I have 1 of these a day. Of course, I have to say of these, because this is a 20-ounce cup. I have 1. Normally, if it's not gone by 10 a.m., I will dump it and then start drinking water. So I do drink water. I drink a lot of water throughout the day, because it's literally the only other thing I drink. Unless we go out to dinner and then I have something special, I get me an unsweet iced tea. I'm so bland. I don't normally eat a lot of sweets, but lately I got some candy that my sister-in-law was nice enough to allow me to steal from her house on Christmas Eve. She also figured out what cookies I will eat. So I've gotten to that point to where I don't eat a whole lot of sweets unless it's candy. But she made cookies. And she figured out what cookies I will eat, because my husband knows he can bring home peanut butter cookies, and I will eat peanut butter cookies. And sugar cookies, I will eat the shit out of sugar cookies. Well, my sister-in-law made sugar cookies. Well, when my husband told me she was making sugar cookies, immediately in my head, I'm going, shit. I love sugar cookies. That and my mom makes some bomb-ass pumpkin cookies, I will say that. Cookies I will do, as long as they're the right cookies. So she made some sugar cookies. Then she figured out, after I had 6 of them. So she's like, now I know what you will eat. And I'm going, awesome, please no. And then she gives me a box to bring home, and I was like, don't do that. She goes, you know, you eat one in the truck on the way home. And I was like, it's a 45-minute drive. Of course I will. Actually, I think it's a little longer than that. I think it's like an hour. Anyway, I did not, by the way, eat one in the truck on the way home. I did, however, have 3 last night after we got home from my parents' house. So yes, I have sugar cookies still sitting on the counter, and I have been debating with myself whether or not I wanted one for breakfast. I do not need a sugar cookie. I don't need cookies. Anyway, so I do a health cleanse every January anyway. And that is basically from all the junk that we don't normally eat during the year, which includes cookies. That includes cookies. We do not usually eat cookies throughout the year. I mean, we'll indulge like once every 3 months. It's not that big a deal. Sometimes my husband, on the other hand, he's a total cookie binger. But me, on the other hand, I try to stay away from sugar mostly. And the only sugar I get is in my creamer. Thank you, coffee. So that's the most sugar that I get. But I am hoping to be able to equate fitness into my writing schedule. And I'm attempting to kind of mold it all together, I guess you could say. They're gonna be basic vlogs where you'll be able to see, okay, I just came in from this. This is what I'm doing now. Then we're gonna start writing. Then we're gonna start editing. So you kind of get to see a full day type of deal. And you'll get, updates on where I'm at and what I'm doing. And every so often I'll do a rant because, the internet is stupid. And kind of like if you saw my last video that I posted, the internet is ruining spelling. You'll get that. I thought it was fun. My son was sitting there telling me people don't talk like that. Like they don't say BTW and FML. They literally say the words. But I have legitimately watched videos of people speaking that way. I have heard people in public speaking that way. I say people, children. But I have heard them talk that way. Maybe my son, he doesn't talk that way. But anyway, so 2020 is going to be a busy year for me. I'm going to get out the entire Affair series. I'm also going to figure out how to put up like a box set on my website. So I'm going to try to get a box set of the Affair series on my website so that you can buy all 4 books. So that will be a thing there too. And I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping to figure that out. I have not been able to find a place where I can actually do that. Like I've looked at Uline. Uline, I can find shipping supplies, but I have not been able to find boxes to where I can do a box set. And I haven't exactly looked at my publisher, Lightning Source, on whether or not they can do box sets where I can like order the entire box set type of thing. But which would actually be pretty cool, because if I could do that and upload like a design for the entire box set, I would do that. And that would be amazing. But so what I am looking at this point is possibly doing my own, like trying to find a box that I can actually put together and possibly like fit the books in that way. So I'm looking to do a box set. I will tell you, though, that I have had several people ask me questions about Friendly Misfortunes. Friendly Misfortunes is all by itself. I never planned on even writing a series until the book club that I was a featured author at had said something about Forbidden Affair. They loved it. They wanted me to continue. So that's when I went ahead and decided to continue. Now, Family Affair is not the original title for that. And every so often I do end up saying the wrong title. But it is Family Affair, and I did continue with that. I've got Family Affair, Fundamental Affair, and Fruitful Affair. And I'm going to put those into a box set. I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. Yes, I do publish through Lightning Source, which has the smaller imprint of Ingram Spark. I have looked into it, and that was one thing that I wanted to do because I've heard some of the costs that people use through Ingram Spark compared to the costs that I accrue through Lightning Source. And I feel like it would be a better option to go through Ingram Spark. But with Lightning Source is actually their larger imprint for larger publishers. So if you have 30 titles or more, you can go through Lightning Source because then you're considered as a large publisher. But I did not have the Ingram Spark option when I went through Lightning Source. It was Lightning Source and CreateSpace, and that was it. But now there's that option for KDP and Ingram Spark. So I went through Lightning Source. I have not switched over yet because I have really good customer service. I've never had an issue. They've been able to fix my stuff within 2 days and overnight books to me to replace the ones that were, not any good. And that's one thing. And then there's other people who have had issues with them. And I will tell you this much, if I have a couple of typos or, anything like that, if I have, because my dad pointed out that in Family Affair, there is a typo. One. There is one typo in Family Affair. If I have one typo in a published book, I'm not going to cry about it. I have legitimately gone through a published book. Granted, it was done through a vanity press. And I bought one because they were at Texas Frightmare Weekend. And I was there as a spectator because it's better to go as a spectator than go as a vendor. But I was there as a spectator and self-published author. They went through a vanity press. That's fine. Whatever. Go ahead. That vanity press does not exist anymore because this was years ago. And I had looked them up recently. They don't exist anymore. But I had bought this book, right? They have those vanity presses. They all say, oh, we have our own editors. We do all this. We do all that. They format, and you pay thousands of dollars for them to do that. This book had so many errors in it. I legitimately started editing it while I was reading it. Now, I read it the first time, and I went all the way through it. The second time I read it, I literally went with my highlighters and my red pen and did the edits that I do on my own manuscripts. And I literally went in there. There were plot holes. It could have been longer. It was literally, let me show you something here. I have one of these. It was literally like this. This is how long the book was. So it wasn't a big book. But the book was great. If the author had better editing, then it would have been a great book. Now, I did get it signed by the author, so at least that way, I will keep that book forever. But anyway. So if he had a better editor, the book would have been great. There would have been more information. The, characters would have been more believable. The guy just didn't seem believable. But it was a really good book. It had a great concept. So anyway, my thing is that there are some self-published authors that think that their book is hot shit, when in actuality, they think that writing a book is going to make them, a quick buck, and they'll get rich quick. And I want to say that this pool is very, very small of these people. So they seem to think that they can write a book and then they're just going to get rich quick. So they go through these vanity presses and they spend thousands of dollars for absolutely nothing. And then when you look at their responses to their vanity press, they're saying that their vanity press is a scam because they didn't sell any books. Okay. Well, you're considered as a self-published author. You have to market yourself. So now granted, there is one girl that I do follow, and yes, she used Outskirts Press. That's a total scam. Just saying. But that's, I don't even know if they exist anymore. I haven't looked them up in a while. But I did spend a lot of the early 2000s looking into these vanity presses. The only problem that I had was the fact that the word vanity press then in turn turns you into a shitty author. You're literally paying somebody to publish your book because you can't get it published the right way, is how everybody used to see it. But nowadays, self-publishing your book has now become a business with CreateSpace, Lightning Source, KDP, Ingram Spark, stuff like that. Now they're allowing self-published indie authors. They're allowing them to be businesses. And I think that's so great that we've come so far with the crap that we've had to put up with, because I was told by an agent that I couldn't get published because I wasn't already published, which sounds stupid. And, because they want to know your credits. What have you done before? and it's like nothing. That's why I'm querying you, is because I don't have anything published because I want to get published. Well, if you're not published already, then we can't publish you. And it's like, anyway, so next year is going to be very busy and I'm hoping to get out a lot of books, but I'm not doing rapid release. Let me put it that way. I'm not doing rapid release. I'm literally going through the entire writing, editing, and publishing process with these books. Now, Killer Suburbia will not get started on the publishing process until late next year because I want to have Fundamental Affair and Fruitful Affair done. So the first book in Killer Suburbia will not be published until probably January of 2021. And that is in order to get everything settled. I will be writing book 1 of Killer Suburbia in Q1 of 2020. Book 2 is Q2 of 2020. Book 3 is Q3 of 2020. And book 4 is Q4. And I can write a book in 3 months. I've done it twice. But this year, 2019, was to focus on the Affair series. So 2019 was to focus on the Affair series. It's going to get published next year. I'll have no problem with that. So 2020 will be focused on finishing the Affair series and getting it out there and writing Killer Suburbia. So I can start publishing it Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 of 2021. And while I'm in the process of editing and publishing those in 2021, then I have a new series coming out. And I have another series. Okay, so 2021, I will be writing another series. That one I'm still in the process of outlining because I do have a lot of notes. Now, there's a new one that I had in mind for 2022 that starting in about Q4 of 2021, I will be asking a lot of questions. And yes, I do 5-year plans. So I have an entire 5-year plan of each series and stuff like that. Now I do only have this series up to the 2022, only because of the fact that in 2023, I want to focus on anything that hasn't been published. I want to make sure that everything is edited, published, and out, and do all that. And by 2025, I want to be able to take a nice luxury vacation, if that says anything. Oh, my plans. I am such a planner. So anyway, that's that. Next year is going to be focusing on Killer Suburbia. I will be getting all of the Affair series out so that that can be done. I'll be looking at doing boxed, like a box set. If anybody knows anything about how to do a box set, let me know, because I'm not sure. It's a new concept to me. And writing a series is sort of, I guess you could say, a new concept to me. I have this book. Okay, writing the fiction series. This book is very, very good. I have already read it once, and then I'm starting to go through it a second time so that I can feel more comfortable when I start my series. And I went through it earlier this year. I went through that book, and it was like my Bible while I was finishing the Affair series. And it is, again, going to be my Bible next year while I do the Killer Suburbia. I'm also reading Grammar 101 for the 4th time. I will tell you that the focus in 2020 should always be, always be writing, always be learning, always be reading. Just, if you're going to write a book, do it, do it, do it. This is your year, 2020. It's the start. Well, I don't know if it's the start of a new decade or the end of a decade. Because doesn't it start at 1? I think it starts at 1. So it's like the end of a decade. I don't know. Anyway, I guess it depends on how you look at it. We're going to start at 0. So it's the beginning of a new decade. But anyway, So just do it. Just write your book. The indie publishing, the indie industry, let me put it that way. The independent industry, whether it be writing or filmmaking or anything that you are doing on your own that all these big companies are doing, do it. Now is the time. It is so much more socially acceptable nowadays because screw the big companies. We're starting our own. We're going to do this our way. Screw you, Big Five. Although, hopefully, I want to get, I don't know. I haven't decided yet whether or not I would accept a contract for traditional. I think I like the business side of all of this because I can do it myself. I'm kind of that type of person where I would so rather just do it myself. And let me do this. I don't want to be told this is how I need to do this. Hey, change this. Hey, change this. Hey, change this. Hey, change your face. So I don't know if I'd actually go with the traditional publishing thing. I think I would rather just be known as the indie. I like that idea. So anyway, do it. Now is the time. We are socially acceptable to do anything yourself. Be independent and fight for your rights. I don't know. Oh. Let's see, what's over here? Oh, this is Kira's. Kind of see her. What's over here? Miss Valentine. I got a rolly chair. And then there's Miss Layla's. She is so creepy. She's literally laying there with her eyes wide open, but she's like... Anyway. That's it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go. The next video after this one should hopefully be the RV renovation. Yay. And you'll get to see my new 2020 writing space. But other than that, I hope y'all had a great Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye.